Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to completely upgrade your metabolism for fat loss. We're looking at some seriously fascinating clinical data that shifts the focus way away from basic old-school diet advice and moves us toward highly targeted body recomposition. If you've ever felt like losing weight also meant losing all your strength, well, you are in exactly the right place.
So let's start with the elephant in the room, right? Why do most diets cost you muscle instead of fat? The truth is, the traditional paradigm of just strictly cutting calories is fundamentally flawed. Now, don't get me wrong, you absolutely need a caloric deficit to lose body fat, for sure. But focusing only on the math, that literally throws your body's hormones into a total panic. You cut calories, your metabolism slows way down, and it actually starts feeding on your hard-earned muscle. It's a complete physiological trap, and today we're going to learn exactly how to break out of it.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap. We'll start with the calorie counting trap, dive into the science of protein, uncover the protein-to-energy ratio, highlight top high-protein foods, and finally, avoid common diet pitfalls.
Section 1. The Calorie Counting Trap.
So, during an energetic deficit, the human body naturally enters a catabolic state. Basically, that means it starts breaking down its own internal tissues just to meet base metabolic demands. If you don't have enough protein coming in from your diet, a massive chunk of your weight loss is actually going to come from your functional, lean skeletal muscle, not your fat reserves. Your body essentially eats its own muscle to survive. This is known clinically as sarcopenic decline. And, when you lose muscle, your base metabolic rate drops, which makes maintaining your new weight progressively more difficult. It's just a vicious cycle.
Section 2. The science of protein.
Look at this number, 20 to 30%. This represents the thermic effect of food, or TF, for dietary protein. Your metabolism actually demands energy just to break molecular bonds and absorb nutrients. While fats and carbs require very little energy to process, we're talking only about 5 to 15%. Protein is an absolute metabolic furnace. For every 100 calories of lean protein you consume, roughly 25 of those calories are dissipated directly as heat during digestion. It's an incredible thermic tax that reduces your net absorbed calories without reducing the actual nutrient density.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how your digestive system is actually a massive communication hub. When you eat high-purity protein, it triggers a chemical cascade releasing incretins like GLP-1 and PYY in the GI tract that travel straight to your central nervous system to enforce a feeling of fullness. At the exact same time, this protein input induces a long-duration suppression of ghrelin, the hormone that constantly screams at you to eat. By managing these hormones, you prevent that compensatory overeating that ruins most diets.
And while you're feeling full and burning extra calories just through digestion, the specific essential amino acids in protein, specifically the branched-chain amino acid leucine, are going to work. Think of leucine like a biological light switch. It flips on a pathway called mTORC1, which directly stimulates muscle protein synthesis. This beautifully counterbalances the catabolic effects of your caloric deficit. It essentially ensures your fat stores are used for energy while your functional muscle is safely preserved.
Section 3. The protein-to-energy ratio.
So, what actually constitutes an optimal, low-calorie, high-protein food? Think of this as your golden rule when you're looking at nutrition labels. It needs to supply a minimum of 10 grams of highly bioavailable protein per 100 calories. This ensures that at least 40% of the food's total caloric value originates directly from amino acids. This protein-to-energy, or PE ratio, is your ultimate metric. It's exactly how you optimize your macros to safeguard lean skeletal muscle mass during intensive fat loss.
To really grasp this, we have to compare whole food lean protein against highly processed commercial protein bars. See, many bars marketed for weight loss might boast 20 grams of protein, sure, but they pack 250 to 300 calories filled with sugar alcohols, binding starches, and fillers. You're getting the protein, yeah, but you're paying a massive calorie tax for it, rather than just utilizing the pure efficiency of a perfect PE whole food source.
Section 4. Top high-protein food choices. Let's look at the biological MVPs. First up is lean turkey breast. At 99% fat-free lean mass, this is an ultra-lean macronutrient profile. It functions as a direct amino acid source with virtually zero saturated fats. But beyond just the basic macros, turkey is wonderfully abundant in L-tryptophan. This is a crucial precursor to serotonin and melatonin synthesis, which actively supports your neurological recovery and sleep quality during periods of caloric restriction.
Next, we have liquid egg white concentrates. Egg whites provide pure ovalbumin without any of the yolk lipids.
They are the absolute gold standard for the protein digestibility corrected amino acid score. Your body absorbs and utilizes them almost perfectly, making them the ultimate baseline ingredient for a calorie-conscious diet.
Moving into aquatic proteins, shrimp is just an absolute powerhouse. It is a highly efficient marine protein. Get this, an incredible 94.5% of its total calories come directly from protein. It is insanely lean and fits the PE ratio flawlessly, allowing you to hit your targets without piling on any extra energetic density.
And for cultured dairy, we have non-fat Icelandic skyr. This strained dairy product is filtered to remove excess liquid whey and lactose, leaving a very dense, protein-rich food. But its real superpower is a slow, sustained release of micellar casein protein. Think of it as a steady, hours-long drip of muscle protection that inhibits muscle breakdown, all while actively supporting your GI health.
And this brilliantly illustrates the data right here. When we put these foods side by side in this macronutrient reference matrix, the efficiency really stands out. You can clearly see shrimp at the top with that massive 94.5% of its calories from protein, closely followed by 99% lean turkey breast at 92.3%. Skinless chicken breasts and Atlantic cod also showcase incredible efficiency, seating firmly above 85%. And hey, even plant-based options like extra firm tofu easily cross that 40% threshold we established earlier, coming in at 43.9%. Having these metrics visually anchored like this makes your meal prep so much more precise.
Section 5. Avoiding common diet pitfalls.
Now, even the absolute best nutrition plans can stall if key systemic details are overlooked. We already talked about the danger of processed bars, but we really need to talk about liquid calories in dressings. Drizzling just 2 tablespoons of a standard oil-based dressing onto that lean chicken breast can easily double the caloric total of the entire meal. It completely erases the efficiency of your protein intake. Also, remember that processing higher amounts of protein requires your kidneys to process more urea byproducts. If you don't step up your water intake, you risk mild dehydration, which shrinks muscle cells and totally stalls your progress.
To synthesize all of this, let's look at the core thesis statement from the clinical data. The primary driver of lean tissue retention during a caloric deficit is satisfying essential amino acid requirements while managing overall energy density. This is exactly why prioritizing bioavailability and those satiety pathways we talked about matters so incredibly much. It's not just about eating less, it's about eating smarter, protecting your metabolic health, and properly feeding your lean mass.
So, I'll leave you with this final, actionable question as you plan out your next grocery trip. Which 3 of these high-purity proteins will you prep this week? Will it be the sustained casein release of Icelandic skyr, the incredible 94.5% efficiency of shrimp, or maybe the pure efficiency of liquid egg whites? Take this science, apply it to your kitchen, and truly take control of your metabolic health. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.